creators of forces of diamond quality, the world's foremost authority in grading colored stones, creators of 7 pearl value factors, leading the way in gemology education. We are GIA, the world's foremost authority in gemology, a legacy of over 80 years.
GIA is the globally trusted gem authority
Which of the following has the smallest crystal size?
and the world's foremost source of knowledge, standards, and education in gems. Since 1931, our nonprofit mission has never wavered, protecting the gem buying public. Preparing the next generation of gem and jewelry professionals for successful careers is an important part of who we are. All gem buyers have the right to know exactly what they're buying so that they can make an informed purchase. Our independent gem identification and grading reports represent the highest standard of reliability and integrity.
GIA is a big part of our business because every major diamond that we offer for sale all year long has a GIA certificate. Nobody will buy a major diamond in the world without GIA.
Our world-renowned research is the foundation of everything we do, and the discoveries we make inform our education programs, laboratory services, and more, keeping us at the forefront of gemology. GIA supports communities where gems are mined, works with the Nelson Mandela Foundation to build libraries in Africa, and has awarded millions of dollars in scholarships worldwide. Giving back extends our mission into communities near and far. Take a closer, deeper look, and you'll see the many facets and faces of GIA.
Creators of forces of diamond quality, the world's foremost authority in grading colored stones, creators of 7 pearl value factors, leading the way in gemology education. We are GIA, the world's foremost authority in gemology, a legacy of over 80 years.
GIA is the globally trusted gym authority
Which of the following has the smallest crystal size?
and the world's foremost source of knowledge, standards, and education in gyms. Since 1931, our nonprofit mission has never wavered, protecting the gym-buying public. Preparing the next generation of gym and jewelry professionals for successful careers is an important part of who we are. All gym buyers have the right to know exactly what they're buying so that they can make an informed purchase. Our independent gym identification and grading reports represent the highest standard of reliability and integrity.
GIA is a big part of our business because every major diamond that we offer for sale all year long has a GIA certificate. Nobody will buy a major diamond in the world without GIA.
Our world-renowned research is the foundation of everything we do, and the discoveries we make inform our education programs, laboratory services, and more, keeping us at the forefront of gemology. GIA supports communities where gems are mined, works with the Nelson Mandela Foundation to build libraries in Africa, and has awarded millions of dollars in scholarships worldwide. Giving back extends our mission into communities near and far. Take a closer, deeper look, and you'll see the many facets and faces of GIA.
Hello. Namaste. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And if we can ask Jatin Lalit to stop the musical composition for a few minutes. We've run a little late. Welcome, everybody. Take your time. I can see very well-heeled people. Take your time, no worries. Sit down, eat, drink, enjoy. The hotel's at your disposal. We've got rooms for everybody and extended family members. So please, everybody have a good time. Okay, just realize none of you could have been late because of the Bandh. Thanks to the Bandh, everybody was on time. So we can get this show rolling very quickly. Can we start by just giving a big hand to everybody who's here? Thank you so much for coming. It was worth that 105 rupees that you're going to pay at the C-Link because you've donated with your heart for a very, very just and rightful cause. Okay. A very warm welcome to the 4th edition of Jewelers for Hope Charity Dinner 2018, presented by the Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council in association with De Beers Group of Companies and powered by GIA, Gemological Institute of America, the world's foremost authority in gemology. I am Cyrus Brocha, out-of-work actor, singer, and belly dancer, but I'm delighted. I'm honored to be hosting such an important event today. Unfortunately, real celebrities weren't available as they're observing the Bandh. CSR, as you all know, stands for Corporate Social Responsibility. And this year, GJEPC is putting much of its CSR resources into multiple noble causes. The causes this year are not only noble, but unique as well. And the NGOs present with us today have done some very commendable work in their respective fields. Suffice to say that we are all deeply committed to these causes, as is the Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. And here is a wonderfully short AV about this very special organization to kick off proceedings. Jewelers for Hope, ladies and gentlemen. Small applause. You don't have to clap throughout the night. It's the longest function, over 1 hour at least, although I speak really quickly. Just to note, please don't take more than 2 items of cutlery back home with you, all right? Because we have cameras pointing in both directions. All right, I can see you, ma'am, on last table on the left. I'm just kidding, just trying to get your attention. You're a lovely lady. All right, let's kick off the proceedings with our captain, Mr. Virat Kohli. Actually, Mr. Pramod Kumar Agrawal, the chairman of the Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, to come up on stage and start it all. Mr. Pramod Kumar Agrawal. If you can just let our chairman through. Yes.
Chief Guest Paul Rowley, Executive Vice President of Diamond Trading and Distribution, DBS. Guest of Honor, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, Nobel Prize winner, social activist, Miss Shaina NC, Padma Bhushan Awardee, Dr. D.R. Mehta ji, Mrs. Shilpa Sethi, Jahir Khan ji, Manisha Koirala ji, Miss Nirupa Bhatt, MD GIA, Vice Chairman Colin Shah ji, GJEPC PNBD convener Mehul Choksi ji, or Milan Choksi ji, my colleagues from COA, friends, trade, media, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, Milan ji. A very good evening to all of you and a warm welcome to Jewelers of Hope, an initiative of GJEPC to support the NGOs working for the betterment of the society. All of you would be pleased to know that today we have among us the personalities who have gone that extra mile for the society. We are honored to have among us Nobel Prize winner Mr. Kailash Satyarthi ji, social activist, Ms. Shaina NC, Padma Bhushan Awardee, Dr. D.R. Mehta ji, and all have done an excellent job in their respective field for betterment of the society. Jewelers of Hope is an initiative started by GJEPC in 2014, where gem and jewelry industry come together for a common cause. Through this CSR activity, the industry goes beyond its community to serve one and all. You all may be aware that the gem and jewelry industry has a history for contributing for development and betterment for the society, individually and collectively. I would like to mention the example of Gujarat, a state which is hub of diamond cutting and processing centers. This diamond industry here has developed its over the last 5 decades, and today it is the world leader in cutting and polishing of diamonds. Also, the industry has raised the level of standard of itself. A beautiful factories how they set up there. On CSR side, when there was a need, the industry has got several houses built for people who were homeless or became homeless due to any natural crisis. They also established educational institutes and hospitals across Gujarat. Such examples are in other places also. In Jaipur also, there is been built a hospital and the contribution in institutes. Gem and Jewelry National Relief Foundation was set up in the year 1999. The foundation initiated help to the defense personnel and their families affected during Kargil war. It has gone similar work in past also. The industry through foundation has put in its heart and soul for relief and rehabilitation to earthquake victims of Gujarat with an impressive amount of 54 crores, which it had collected from across the world. It is a very good amount, and they have done wonderful during that period. I would like everybody to clap for it. It's a very good job they've done. When the unfortunate cyclone hit and destroyed the major part of Orissa, the industry came forward and constructed by name of Joshida Sagan. The foundation extended financial help to families of URI Matris and Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, handed over fixed deposit of 8 lakhs to each family of victims of URI terror attacks, and there was many such cases. The industry has patiently contributed. Today, the Indian gems and jewelry industry's annual export at $41 billion, more than 5 million workforce. Our efforts are to add 2 more million new jobs by 2022. The Council, with the help of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, is in process to set up Common Facility Center to provide the modern machineries and work-friendly environment to small units and grassroots level workers. The Council is setting up Common Facility Centers in all major clusters and would soon set up a jewelry park across India, which would have all the modern facilities. It is a kind of CSR also. We are going to rehabilitate the workers who is working in the pockets in not a good environment. They will be shifted there in a better environment. The GJEPC has also done its bit towards CSR, and it has introduced a group health insurance scheme called Swasthya Ratna, under which all GJEPC members, companies can enroll employees and their families. The Council contributes towards the premium, and the policy is highly subsidized for members' companies. Till date, the scheme has covered 3.5 lakh people since it was launched 4 years ago. I must congratulate our convener PNBD, Sri Milan Choksi ji, for his efforts he has put in for this wonderful and meaningful CSR event. And today, he has really launched a very good campaigning about what our industry is doing. I would like to thank for the support and contribution from the industry, as it once again proves that as an industry, we believe in the ideology of giving back to the society. I'm sure for your contribution towards these organizations would make a big difference and help transform the lives of many. Thanks. Jai Hind.
Yes, big thank you to our chairman. Thank you so much for that speech. And Mr. Milan Choksi has given me his visiting card, just to read out his name, M-I-L-A-N, Milan Choksi. Kuch nahi, I'm just saying, just don't react, please. We have to come back and do this job again next year. Okay, that's the start of our show, but let's now go on to diamonds being forever. That's why we're here. So is De Beers, our associate partner for tonight's Jewelers for Hope charity dinner. Now, you may or may not know that De Beers is the true diamond multinational, dating back to 1888 when I started my career with MTV. So here's an audio visual that will throw more light on the company De Beers. De Beers, the finest diamonds in the world. And in fact, De Beers' rep, who I met in the Loo, a place where some of the great meetings are held and some of the great moments are made, well, he said if I mention De Beers 3 times in a sentence, I will get a diamond at the end of this evening. So, De Beers, De Beers, De Beers. And now, unfortunately, it wasn't this gentleman, but I'll call upon Mr. Paul Rowley, the Executive Vice President, Diamond Trading and Distribution, De Beers Group, to come up on stage and grace us with a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. And thank you once again for allowing me the honor to speak to you this evening at the Jewelers for Hope dinner. I think it's fair to say a great initiative for the diamond industry to be involved in, and one that's particularly relevant, I believe, to our sector. Because diamonds have always had that capacity to be vehicles for positive emotions. Throughout the centuries, they've been symbols of strength, commitment, empowerment, and of course, the ultimate symbol of love. But for people involved in bringing diamonds to the world, they've long been symbols of hope. And I guess you'll have seen from the video, I kind of know this fairly well because living as I do in a country like Botswana, where diamonds from deep inside the earth have provided so much for so many. The nation has enjoyed the world's fastest economic growth rate between 1966 and 2014, thanks to diamonds. And these miracles of nature have given the power of hope to so many people in society. Children could hope for education, and young adults coming out of education could hope for more job opportunities, and communities could hope for greater prosperity. And here in India, of course, diamonds have provided a source of hope and inspiration. The nation has grown to become the world's leading polishing center in just a matter of decades. And the diamond sector has become a major contributor to the national economy, a vital source of employment, and therefore also a great source of both hope and pride for many. We're fortunate to be among the leaders of this global industry. But like any leadership, this comes with great privilege, and it also comes with great responsibility. We're in the fortunate position to be able to take meaningful steps to make the world a better place, and it's therefore our duty to do so. And I'm pleased to say that the diamond industry has lots to be proud of. The De Beers Group have more customers from India than from anywhere else in the world. And I often hear firsthand, and indeed I heard it very much firsthand in the last couple of days whilst I was in Surat and indeed in Mumbai today, that a great deal of work is being done. There's numerous programs that provide vital support in areas such as healthcare, education, and community support. There are hospitals funded by the diamond sector. There are schools and training courses run by diamond companies. And there are numerous charitable donations that help provide lives, or help improve lives indeed, of those in need. Indeed, there is much that has been achieved, and we should rightly be proud. But there's also much more that we can do. And initiatives such as Jewelers for Hope help us shine a light on those areas where we can make a further difference to those underprivileged or marginalized members of society. So far, Jewelers for Hope has done amazing work for fantastic charities, such as Make-A-Wish Foundation, that creates opportunities for children with life-threatening medical conditions. Last year, the focus was on female empowerment, something that is very close to our hearts at De Beers. And together, we help support excellent causes, such as Girl Rising and Nani Kali. It's great to support initiatives such as these, which mean so much for so many people around the world, and we should all redouble our efforts to assist in driving gender equality and insist on better rates of female representation in key positions in business and society. I've no doubt there is more we as an industry can do in this area, and I encourage all of us to maintain our commitments to positive transformation. But this year, Jewelers for Hope will turn its focus to supporting 3 different organisations. The first is the Association for Voluntary Action, Bakban Andolan. BBA is a movement to prevent the exploitation of children in India. It campaigns extensively for the protection of child rights, especially the prevention of child labour and trafficking and provision of education. Second, and bear with me with my pronunciation, is Bhagwan Mahavir Viklang Sayata Samiti. Apologies if I got that wrong. Let's just remain with BMVSS perhaps. But BVSS is the world's largest organisation for the disabled in terms of providing artificial limbs, calipers, crutches, ambulatory aids, such as wheelchairs, and other aids and appliances, and totally free of cost. And third is the Giants Welfare Foundation. This is a service organisation which works towards the betterment of society and the upliftment of the poor and underprivileged through a range of activities and focus areas. Ladies and gentlemen, by supporting activities such as these, we have the real opportunity and privilege to be able to help those in society whose need is the most. And is one of the great figures from Indian history, Mahatma Gandhi, who noted that a nation's greatness can be measured by how it treats its weakest members. So by reaching out to assist children who need help, those with less able bodies and those who cannot afford perhaps the services that many of us take for granted in our lives, we can show the best of ourselves and do something that really matters. And as I mentioned at the start of this address, we should let the diamond be our guide on how we do this. There can be no brighter and purer symbol of hope than a diamond. And I encourage you all to show tonight with your generosity that the diamond industry is just as strong a beacon of hope as the treasures of nature that we deal with on a daily basis. So thank you all for everything you've done already and everything I'm sure you will continue to do to help those in need. You really are the jewelers for hope. And perhaps one of the few things on this planet that is even more valuable than a diamond unleashed from the depths of the earth that is indeed our shining light. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
A big hand to De Beers and Mr. Paul Rowley, which is Punjabi version is Mr. Paul Rowley, who is a cousin of mine from Ludhiana, is also sitting at the back there. If there's no seat for anybody, remember, don't worry, the general elections are a few months away. We'll figure that out. But if you want some publicity here, I'm an anchor with no integrity whatsoever. So if you want your name said a few times, all you have to do is send us a chit and we'll do that. Mr. Colin Shah, Mr. Colin Shah, Mr. Colin Shah, Mr. Colin Shah, the Vice Chairman of the Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council, will now come on stage and say a few words. Mr. Colin Shah.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you, everyone, for making this evening, I guess, a very, very memorable one. One of the fundamental questions, I guess, when we were going around as a committee and calling everyone to sell our tables and get sponsorships was that why are we even doing this? And the only answer which came from the donor and the council was it's because we have hearts of gold. We as jewelers really have hearts of gold. And I'm not saying this for the sake of saying it, but I'm sure Milan and Shailesh and Pramod ji and the entire committee, which was extremely instrumental in putting this event together, practically every phone call we made to everyone sitting over here today was a yes. We did not have to argue, discuss, debate, call 2-3 times, follow up. So a round of applause for all of y'all. Y'all are the ones who made this evening absolutely possible. So, the way I guess this format works over the last few years has been, we have 30 tables, we sell 30 tables, and we get a powered by and a title sponsor. So thanks to our title sponsor, Paul De Beers, once again for the wonderful, generous contribution. Nirupa Bain being our support always. I guess GI is always standing by the industry. And then, of course, we have a real cross-section of GJEPC today. We have diamond manufacturers, jewelry manufacturers, manufacturers from Jaipur, colored stones. We are practically represented by every segment of our industry today. Further to what Pramod ji said, we launched our campaign, on building the positive image of the industry. And somebody was just telling me today evening, actually, an hour back, is that we should really just give one message to the entire audience today, and that is that let us only speak positive things about our industry. We've had enough negativism in the last few years, and all we want to do is be super positive, and there's only one fundamental reason for that, because we really make a difference. We make a difference to the country's economy. We contribute 7% to India's GDP. We hire 5 million people. And a big section of that is women. Another large section of that is non-agrarian labor. So this is one of the few industries, like you all know, where, we don't necessarily have engineers, doctors working in this industry, but every typical farmer family has 3 sons and 2 are in the farm, and one comes to cities like Jaipur, Mumbai, Surat, and actually gets a job in this industry. And in a span of 3, 6, 9 months, he's setting diamonds, he's cutting and polishing diamonds, he's cutting and polishing colored stones, manufacturing silver jewelry. So we actually make a valuable difference, because one is we employ, and employment is something this country really needs. And besides that, all of us, and we've really, dive deep, I would say, in this whole exercise when we were setting about this charity dinner, is there are so many companies over here, and like all of y'all, which are doing such wonderful work, whether it's the Earthquake Relief Fund in Surat, whether it is helping many NGOs, right from Make-A-Wish to Nanni Kali. We have all kinds of causes which are supported by all of you here. So we as council, we are just doing one initiative where we are trying to, and I'm sure Sabya ji will agree that our main role is facilitation. It's trade facilitation, and even over here when it comes to NGOs, it's facilitating, it's putting you in touch with donors. Many large companies over here who are listed, who are non-listed, but with hearts of gold, who are looking for good causes to support. So please feel free after the event, network with everyone here, especially the NGOs, and I'm sure you all will get a lot of donors. Further to council, I only wanted to say one thing, is that, one of the things which we as a board had decided was that 2% of our turnover, Anil bhai, with your permission, we were going to contribute to CSR activities. So we have this Mediclaim which we are doing for, our workers, and we've nearly covered 50,000 families in the last 2 years, 50,000, so that's quite a number. And besides that, we are supporting a lot of NGOs. So round of applause for all of you all. Thank you for making this evening memorable. And please enjoy dinner.
Thanks to Mr. Colin Shah, Vice Chairman of the Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. And as you know, this is a very sophisticated audience, well-heeled people, very refined. I don't want to bring down the class of such a lovely group of people. But if you need to urinate, please do, because there's no kidney specialist here in the council. So guys, relax. It's slightly more informal than you think. Chill out. 4 people are laughing. The others are going to the toilet, so we're all good. Okay, let's now start with the proceedings. Giants Welfare Foundation was formed. Sorry, glasses are new. It's, becoming Superman for the first time, wearing your underwear out. It's that kind of feeling. Takes some time. Giants Welfare Foundation was formed on 14 September 2016 in Mumbai. It is a tribute to the essential goodness of mankind, whereas some forecast a shadow of despair of life, some others derive their strength from the perennial spring of human compassion and virtue, always bringing good cheer and hope in the community. Giants was indeed fortunate to have within it, right from its inception, a woman called Shaina NC, under the able guidance of her father, Padma Shri Nana Chudasama. Can we please take a look at the Giants Welfare Foundation, AV? Yes, before I welcome Shaina on stage, I just want to say Shaina and I went to the same college, St. Xavier's, spent 5 years together, sat together in political science as far as I remember. I rubbed my elbow against hers twice, and she gave me dirty looks. But how divergent have been our career paths. She's conquered fashion, she's a spokesperson in politics, and she's done so much humanitarian work, and lots more to come. I scratched my groin in front of my mother-in-law in the morning, and she threw up on my dog. So, totally different parts. But let's call on stage Shaina NC.
At the outset, my respect to Kailash Satyarthi ji and Dr. Mehta, who I think are far, far more deserving. But I would like to thank the organizers, Pramod Agarwal ji, Colin, my dear friend, because of whom I'm here. May I say the right Choksi, Mr. Milan Choksi, Anil Virani, Sailesh Sangvi, Kirit Bhai, Ashok Gajera, Dinesh ji, and Paul. I think it's very, very generous. When we were growing up, my father always told us two things. He said there are givers and takers in society. The givers sleep well, the takers eat well. It's our choice whether we want to be a giver or we want to be a taker. And when Giants was formed, I was just born. So this organization, which is 46 years old, my father only thought that if you have Rotary and Lions, which comes from the West, why don't we have a social service organization based out of India where we can do good work and where the acronym, which stands for generosity, integrity, action, nobility, truthfulness, and service, is something that women and men can participate in alike. So we have over 625 groups today, 25,000 members, some of whom are present here, Mr. Vasu Vasandani, Rashmikant Bhai, Insya, Nuria, Panna. I'd like to thank all of them for being torchbearers of the multiple causes we do. And more recently, I would like to also highlight that we did the largest blood donation drive that India has ever seen with the Ministry of Finance and Facebook. It's when you have organizations like that who support that you can take forward. When we had the Uttarakhand flood, Giants has set up schools which are functional and working even now as we speak. After Ganpati, I'd urge all you Mumbaikars to join us on Marine Drive and Chowpatty and all the beach fronts where we actually clean garbage with the BMC officials. So any cause that you want to take on, big or small, be it rainwater harvesting or saving the girl child or surviving cancer patients who have really no resources to take care of their treatment, this is something that we take on with a lot of passion and vigor. I'd like to say now that how does an organization grow? It grows because of its cadre, yes, but because of these stalwarts who are present in our audience today, people like Shilpa Shetty, Zahir Khan, Manisha Koirala, who have all supported us without asking for a penny and giving their time. You know, the easiest thing to do is write out a check. The hardest is to give of yourself. So whether it's a stunning actress like Shilpa Shetty or a fantastic cricketer like Zahir Khan or a cancer survivor and a real role model like Manisha Koirala, I'd like to thank all of you all for being here and for supporting us. And with a lot of humility, I'd like to say whether it's the donors present here, De Beers, GIA, GJEPC, and I hope all the others really take a cue that there are things that the media highlights about this industry which aren't very flattering. So I'm glad Colin said a heart of gold and not a heart of diamonds. But it's important to give back, and when you have CSR activities such as this, it makes us realize not only is there a ray of hope, I think there's a sunshine waiting out for everyone who needs certain people to help. So thank you, and with a lot of humility, I accept this.
Thank you, Shaina. And we've got her supporters here. They've all come, right? So can we have on stage the fabulous, supremely talented, and always fit and beautiful Miss Shilpa Shetty, who is associated with Giant Welfare Association and supports the noble initiatives. Miss Shilpa Shetty, to say a few words.
A very good evening to all of you. What do I say? I think Shaina said it all, and you shouldn't take the mic after her. She's just wonderful. I'm just here to support my friend who's taken over the mantle from Uncle, and I think she's doing an exemplary job. Just goes to see, show that when you take up a cause in a charity, you don't have to just stick to any one cause. You can do so much. So I'm learning from you, Shaina, and I'm just here to actually pay my obeisance to all these wonderful people. Satyarthi sir, I'm a huge, huge fan of yours. Your speeches have been so riveting that I've burst out crying, and it made me feel like a really small person, and it made me want to get up and do something. So I think you're a wonderful soul, and there's so much to learn from you. Dr. Mehta, I think what you have been doing is also wonderful, and I have to applaud, it's a really long name, the GJEPC for taking up this cause. I think it's a great CSR initiative, and I don't believe that you have a heart of gold. I really think that when you do charity and you give hope to people, that is something that is priceless. Gold has a price. So I think you guys are doing a great job, and yeah. I really believe that once you choose hope, anything is possible, and with outfits like this and supporting NGOs that really need help, I really think that you're giving hope to people who have lost it. And I just have one last thing to say, that I've just about started out with my charity. I really hope that you nominate me next time. So in that hope, have a great evening.